Hello, hello. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. I am Lindsay Gordon. I am a career coach for analytically minded people, and I am trying something new and going live for the first time. So, I am excited to have you here with me. I thank you in advance for any grace for any of the technology that does not go right. But I'm so excited to be here with you. And I'm going to plan to do these twice a week. And the reason I really want to do this is because I love sharing stories. I love sharing stories about the clients that I get to work with. I love sharing stories about what they are discovering. I love sharing stories about how they are feeling less and less stressed about their work, because that is everything that I want for as many people as possible. And so every time I come on live, I'm going to talk a little bit about one area of kind of thinking about your career and how you can think differently about it, where you might be feeling like you're in a trap and don't know where to move forward. So, my hope is that every time you watch one of these, you will have a little bit more information as to how you can move forward, how you can feel better about your career, and figure out what is actually right for you. So, again, my name is Lindsay Gordon. For anyone who is just joining us, I am a career coach for analytically minded people. And I help people stop doing what they think is right in their career based on external feedback, lots of noise and opinions from other people, sometimes our own self doubt too. And ultimately, I think what it comes down to is I help people face this question of, should I quit my job? And that question can come up in a bunch of different ways. So it might be, I don't feel good. Should I quit my job? Other people are telling me that I should make a change. So should I really do that? Or I have been in my job for X amount of time. Maybe that's too long. Should I quit my job? So it's always sitting with people and helping them think through, should I quit my job? Do I need to quit my job? Is quitting my job the right thing for me? So for the topic today, and I've got a couple of notes here that I'll be referring to because I want to make sure I give you all the good information. So today comes from a person who reached out to me and was potentially interested in working together. And she was kind of arguing for why she should not make a change, even though things didn't feel good. And so I thought that the way that she framed it is so common with what I hear. So I wanted to bring that to you today. So what the person said is, I've grown accustomed to my salary and benefits, and I really worry about the impracticality of chucking it all for something new that I might not like. And I'd love to hear from you if you're in this boat, if you have been in this boat previously, if you know someone in this boat. This can be a very common feeling of, I kind of feel like I should make a change, but also here are the pieces that are the reasons that I shouldn't quit and that I really shouldn't look into making a move. So I always want to say that for some people, absolutely, quitting is going to be the right thing for you. If you are in a situation that is unsafe for you, if you are in a situation that absolutely does not feel right, you always know what is the best for you, and quitting might be the right option. So that is kind of the thing that I always want to say. You do what is right for you first over any kind of advice that I'm talking about, any kind of experiences that I'm sharing from clients. Okay, so we're going to take that sentence and we are going to break it down into its three pieces, because there are three sneaky limiting beliefs hanging out in this one sentence. So I want to show them to you so that you can see if this is happening to you. And maybe you just have one of them, or maybe you have two of them, or maybe you have all three of these. So I want to give you a way to reframe these thoughts so that you can maybe make a different choice than feeling like, well, something's not quite right, but I have to stay for these reasons. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is I have grown accustomed to my salary and benefits. And I think this is actually a really important thing to be clear about because money is important. In the society that we're in the day and time that we are in, money is absolutely important. We need it to make sure that we are safe. We need it to pay our bills. We need it to support our families, whatever we need it for. So I think it's always really important to acknowledge this piece. Now, you may not have noticed, but there's this little sneaky automatic assumption in here that if you make a change, you automatically will not be able to get the same salary and benefits. Now, if you are making a really big change, if you are changing fields, it's possible that you're going to have to take a little bit of a salary cut. It's possible that the benefits might be a little bit different. But I don't want you to automatically assume that if you make any kind of change, it is going to cut your salary and benefits. It's just not true that that's going to happen if you make a change. So, yes, let's be realistic about it. Yes, let's be ready for a situation where you may need to take a little bit of a pay cut, but let's choose that with intention and go into it knowing that that is a trade-off that you are choosing. So yes, we know that that's the case, but here's what I also want you to think about. And this is something that sometimes when we're in the mode of stuck, we forget that this could also be an outcome. What if it could be better than you have now? What if you got a higher salary? What if you got benefits that were even more meaningful to what matters to you? And let me tell you, this happens all the time. People get awesome starting bonuses. My clients land jobs that pay them even more than they were expecting. I even have one client, and this is not normal. This does not happen with everybody, but she literally started getting twice what she was being paid because she was at the wrong level. She was being underpaid at that level. And so she basically got bumped up a level, recalibrated, and at this new company was making almost twice her salary. So again, let's not make it sound that that happens with everybody, but also that does happen. So for this piece, yes, we acknowledge that money is an important part of the equation. We do need to take that into account. There is a chance that you will need to take a trade-off that will be a little bit of a pay cut, but I want you to choose that with intention and start asking yourself the question of what if it could be better? What if I could get more salary? What if I could get more benefits that are important to me? So that's how I would have you reframe the first piece of this kind of limiting belief sentence. Okay, then I want you to go to the second part, which is I worry about the impracticality of chucking it all. This is probably one of the most common limiting beliefs that I encounter about making a change. This idea that if I make a change, I am going to have to give up everything that I've done so far. I'm starting over. It's definitely going to need to be an entry-level job. I'm giving up on my degree that I spent many years and many dollars on, right? So this is a very common feeling. I'm just going to have to give it all up. That's it. Start over. So I want you to reframe this using a phrase that I really love from the book called So Good They Can't Ignore You. And the author talks about this concept of career capital. And basically, in any role that you are in, you are having experiences, you are learning skills, you are using strengths. And that is always going to come with you. You are building that capital within yourself, and you're going to bring that from job to job to job. And I want to give you kind of the example that comes to me, because this is how I have approached my business. So I have an engineering degree. That's why I talk about being a career coach for analytically minded people, because it's pretty unique in this space. Now, I got an engineering degree, spent time and money, and worked in engineering for a little bit. And now I am pretty far from engineering in the sense of what I do day to day. And yet, do I feel like I gave up on all my engineering? I will never use my engineering degree again? No. And this took me a while, because in the beginning, I was like, this is really weird. I'm a career coach with an engineering degree. Maybe I should not talk about that because it's really confusing and nobody would understand. But when I thought about it with the help of a coach at the time, she helped me see that, no, of course I'm bringing my engineering with me. Of course I'm bringing my engineering brain. Of course I'm bringing my way of approaching problems. Of course I'm bringing my love for frameworks and spreadsheets and structure. So I am bringing everything that I learned from those engineering experiences to the work that I do today. And actually, it is part of what makes me most unique. So that's how I want you to start thinking about, instead of, it is impractical for me to make any kind of change because I would be giving up on everything I've done. I want you to think about, how might I bring the experience that I have learned in this role and bring that to be an awesome candidate in the next role, so that you can say, not only do I have experience in the realm of career coaching and supporting a team there, but I also come from an engineering background. And so I think about it in a very practical and structured way. And I'm sure there is a story in there for you as to how your experiences that you have had are going to help as you move on to the next thing. Okay, and then the third piece. So I worry about the impracticality of chucking it all for something new that I might not like. And to that, I say, yes, dear goodness, please do not make a move into something that you do not know if you like. This is basically everything that I do with clients. I want you to make a change to something that you know is going to be a great fit for you, because I don't want you burning everything to the ground in your current role. I don't want you to decide that you're done with your field and that you're going to go and do something completely different without having tested it out. Nope, that doesn't work. That doesn't feel good to anybody. And, we talk about being risk averse often. I think it's really self-honoring to be risk averse, because you are doing things that feel right for you. But I would never want you to make a move for something that you didn't know that you like. So that's why I focus so much on getting people clear about what matters to them. That is what I want you to focus on. I want you to be able to say, my values are this, my top strengths are this, the environment that I know that I need in order to thrive is this, and how is that going to align with any role that I am assessing? So that when you are thinking about making a change, you are saying, okay, yeah, here's how it honors my values. Here's how it engages my strengths. I know that it's not going to hit every piece of the environment that I know that I need, but I am actively choosing this trade-off, knowing that so much of the other stuff is a good fit. So that's what I do with clients. We build this awesome framework that is basically just this tailored cheat sheet of what are all the things that you know you need to be fulfilled in a job. And let's make sure that we know all of those things before you make any changes. So yes, do not make any moves where you don't know if it's going to be the right fit, because that doesn't feel good. So Instead of, I've grown accustomed to my salary and benefits and worry about the impracticality of chucking it all for something new that I might not like, let's try on this reframe. And you can make whatever reframe that you need from what you've learned today. But here's one example of how it could sound to give you a little bit more freedom in thinking about next steps and whether moving on is the right fit for you. So I would say maybe I'm ideally looking for something with the same or better salary and benefits, knowing that I may need to choose trade-offs. I'm excited to bring my skills to a new role, even if it's in a different field. And I'll only take a role that I know will be a good fit for me. Can you hear how that feels super different? How there's so much agency there. There's expansiveness. There gets to be curiosity. There gets to be honoring what is right for you. And then you just explore. Can I find something that feels really good in all of those directions? And is it right for me to make a change? So I hope that is useful for you today. We are going to talk so much more over the next couple weeks and beyond about this question of, should I quit? Is it the right thing for me to quit? Do I need to quit my job? If you want to learn more about what I do and read some of the great resources that I have, you can check me out at alifeofoptions.com. And other than that, it has been a pleasure to be with you today. Thanks for being with me on my first live. And I am so excited to do more of these in the future. So signing off, Lindsay Gordon, career coach for analytically minded people. My business is A Life of Options. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Catch you next time.